wait, I don't know if it's going or not.
Usually there's a little record.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, this is for all us working people. 'Twas the night before Christmas. In the boiler plant I was standing, as usual, waiting for my relief. Knowing my sweetie was all warm and tucked into bed, visions of snuggling up to her danced through my head. When all of a sudden, to my great surprise, but who should appear? My boss, with a strange gleam in his eyes. He looked all disheveled. His white shirt and briefcase were all covered with soot. His name tag was missing, and he had on only one work boot. He laughed in a way that caused me to shiver, and I said to myself, if he say Nick, I think I'm going to be sick. He called out our names, come Dave, come Jay, come Phil, and in a blink of an eye they materialized. I thought, great, now I can start my holidays. But then did I realize I too was standing in line. And that's when I started to get nervous. For even working in a place this close to hell, this was beyond my experience. My boss said, you all thought I was brain dead for taking this job. You all thought I was a retard. Sorry. You all thought the stress would sooner or later would drive me to the brink. But I believed, and now I've been rewarded. For tonight, by God, you're all going to scrub the floors before me. I messed something up there. Tonight, we're finally going to get some work done. And I don't care if we're here till January 1. Now, this was getting serious. Working all Christmas Eve with my boss was not my idea of a pleasant holidays evening. The spirit of Christmas must have been kicked by a reindeer right in the head. The spirit of Christmas must have been smoking some bad frankincense. Baby Jesus, why, oh why, are you pooping on us? It goes on for a while, guys. Now, I knew I needed to do something quick. But I work in a boiler plant. The doors are all locked. Where was I going to run? Then he was off with such a clatter, and I knew from the tools that he threw, his yelling for hydros and leak tests, that we were in for some serious doo-doo. He wanted accumulation checks and wet mag tests. He wanted MSDSs, visual inspections, and all our fiscal reports. He even wanted us to lift all our safety reliefs, and the noise would be such that someone was sure to call the police. It was all too apparent that Christmas and his particular set of religious beliefs was like Santa trying to deliver presents in the Middle East. He was beyond normal help. That's as good as it gets. That's a good one. He was beyond normal help and could quite possibly be needing the services of an exorcist. Well, it didn't take long for the first one of us to crack. Work on Christmas Eve? You know it can't be done. But with a snap of the boss's fingers, Dave was put in his place inside the steam drum. Dave let out a yelp, for work and Dave tend to disagree. But try as he might, he couldn't get free. The internals were blocking his path, so he couldn't escape. Then in a move not 100% thought through, Jay came forward to help. But with a click of his pen and a pull of his tie, Jay was set off to a similar fate. But Jay had not been watching his weight. Of that there could be no doubt. For poor Jay got stuck, with his head halfway in and his butt sticking out. And I thought to myself, not for the first time, mind you, I have really got to get out of this place. I knew now, if anybody was going to save the day, it was going to have to be me. The showdown had finally come. The evil boss with his superpowers versus the only competent one. He spoke not a word as he wrote up his reports for this and that. I had violated safety. I had violated written procedures. I had even violated the Privacy Act. It was quite a blow, but I didn't let it stop my counterattack. I pulled out my job description, all 1,000 pages, and I hit him with that. Now, I don't know if it was the sheer weight of the paper or the blow to his head, but it stunned him, and he dropped his papers and pens. I can do hydros and leak tests and fulfill all my job requirements." He stood quite speechless. He was absolutely shocked. No government worker in history had ever been able to accomplish that. And he realized something in that moment, something that he had almost forgot. Now, I'm not going to tell you that his heart grew 3 times its size that day, or that his brain even began to function in a normal way. No, that would be too much to believe. For something like that to be true, Santa Claus would have to be real. But he knew someone was going to have to do the work, and it wasn't going to be any of these other jerks. So he gave me a nod and a satisfactory performance review. Then he closed up his briefcase and rose off the ground, his head spinning completely around. In a flash he was gone, down that hole all supervisors come from. But I heard him exclaim as he dropped out of view, "Merry Christmas to all, and no Christmas bonuses for you." Merry Christmas!